January the 6th, 6 games. One of them is still going. Seems to have been going for a long time. I'm sure it'll be done by the time we are done. We have some trade stuff. We did the deadline recap, but I'm sure it will come up as we work through today's games. So let's get to it. This is the Thursday post-game show. Let's go balls deep.
I'm the type to get shit done. You the type to observe. March Madness on my speakers, but today's November 23rd. Got something loud in the blunt, yeah. I don't say what I want, yeah. Probably somewhere sunny getting tan. Foreign women in the sun, yeah. That's all that I need. That's all that I need. That's all that I need. Got my brothers with me. Got my brothers with me, and my mama's healthy. That's all that I need.
Welcome to the Balls Deep podcast, brought to you by Fantasy Basketball International. I'm Adam King. Find me on Twitter and Blue Sky at AdamKing91. Find us on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere, everywhere you consume your fantasy basketball content. We are part of the Old Man Squad at Old Man Squad on Twitter. All right, 6 games. 5 completed games, 1 still going, but I think it'll be done. Let's get into them. I have chores to do, so let's roll through these games. The first game of the night, the Dallas Mavericks get the win over Boston, 127-120. Good win for the Mavs. They're still without Anthony Davis, obviously. No PJ Washington. And Boston continue to be a little bit mid. They did beat Cleveland the other day, yesterday, day before, whenever that was. So that was a good win, but then this is not a great loss. Let's start with Dallas. Klay Thompson, 25 points, 4 assists. Again, most of his damage was in the first half. I think he had 21 at halftime, or 23 even. So basically just disappeared for the second half. Kessler Edwards started, but this is once PJ is back and once Anthony Davis is back, we're going to get a new look starting lineup. Dan Gafford had 8 and 15, 5 assists, 2 blocks. Keep him rolling. He is going to start at center with Anthony Davis at power forward, which will mean Kessler Edwards will obviously drop out. PJ Washington will play the 3. Kyrie Irving will play the 1, and we assume Klay Thompson will start at the 2. But Dante Exum had another decent game, 15 and 5. An okay stream for tonight, but that will evaporate once they get all these guys back. Spencer Dinwiddie had 22 points. Not much else. Shot the ball well. He had been well below this of late. So a good stream again tonight. Let's see if you rostered him, hold him, and see what the minutes look like once they are back to full health. Max Christie played 30 minutes again. 15, 6, and 4 with a block. He looks good, looks comfortable. Could he play 30 minutes? Could he play 28 minutes? Again, I would hold and see. And Najee Marshall had 20 points in his 29 minutes. Very similar. Hold, see what happens. I have a feeling all 3 of them are probably going to be drops, but let's see how it plays out. For Boston, there was no Drew Holiday, so we had Al Horford moving into the starting lineup. We're not rostering Al Horford anywhere. Peyton Pritchard, this was a good one. 21, 6, and 6 with a block, 3 threes. This is what he was doing early in the season, so potentially he can build on this. We will see. I'm not confident. But if you want to hold him, I think that's okay. All right, Houston at Minnesota. Good win for the Wolves. Surprisingly or unsurprisingly, they have been better without Julius Randle. I'll leave that there. For the Rockets, Amen Thompson, 16, 3, and 5, 2 blocks, 1 steal. So still very good line. Tari Eason, 10 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 steals, and 3 blocks. So bringing that defensive presence tonight. Must roster player. Even I think once we get Fred VanVleet back, I think Eason will be a must roster player. Cam Whitmore had 16 points off the bench. He is just our point streamer. Reed Shepherd did come off the bench as the first guard. Didn't do a lot. He had 2 steals and a block, 3 points. But 17 minutes, it's good to see. He's not worth rostering, but it is good to see that he has moved ahead of Aaron Holiday, at least for this game. I don't know whether that sticks or not. And Dylan Brooks, much like Cam Whitmore, just a point streamer, but obviously he's a little bit safer because he is starting. For the Wolves, Naz Reid continued to start, continues to play very well. I guess you could consider this a sell high, but we don't know how long it's going to be till Randall is back here, so we could get a little bit more of Reid. Jaden McDaniels, he's settled back into, I'm not going to say mid. I think this is slightly better than mid, but 12, 8 and 4 with a block, 6 of 15 from the floor. Still clearly a must-roster player, but not putting up those numbers that he was putting up a week ago. Rudy Gobert had 13 and 10 with a block. So, I mean, it's a double-double, but we'd like a little bit more. I think Anthony Edwards, very good game for him. Mike Conley had 16 and 5. Still just a streamer for me. I don't think we need to rush and add him after this performance. Nickeil Alexander-Walker played a lot of minutes and did nothing, so don't roster him. Don't roster Jalen Clark. He had 17 points in 19 minutes. Yeah, we should view this as an outlier for now anyway. Orlando looked terrible against Denver. Not really much to talk about, I don't think. Goga was... I'm still going to preach that I think he will be the starter and will get his minutes back into the mid to high 20s, but he's certainly not doing himself any favours. 4 points, block. He just got Jokic'd in this one. Jokic had a triple-double in like 26 minutes or something. So, yeah, it was just a poor night for him, a poor night for the Magic. So I'm really not making any moves based on this performance. And likewise for Denver, they didn't have Jamal Murray. They didn't have, obviously, Russell Westbrook, Peyton Watson. Julian Strouth moved into the starting lineup, and much like who was I talking about who just played a lot of minutes but did nothing? My brain's fried today. Anyway, Strouth played 31 minutes and had 2 points. I think he's still someone you can consider for streaming purposes. This was obviously on the very, very, very low end. Aaron Gordon, borderline at best. Christian Brown, yes, we're holding him. He's playing very well at the moment. Sacramento go down to Portland. Portland continue to win. Let's start with Sacramento, though. Malik Monk, as you can see, his minutes were back up. So that last game, as we discussed, was foul trouble, nothing to do with production or anything like that. So that meant Keon Ellis played 24 minutes, and that is not enough for him to be must roster. Stream him in by all means, but yeah, the path is just not there at the moment for him. Keegan Murray, look, he started this game really well and then just sort of disappeared late. I've said I'm a little bit concerned about him. He's probably a hold, but I'm also okay with moving on, to be fair. Jonas Valanciunas had 6 and 5 in his 17 minutes. Now, I think this allotment of minutes or playing time is probably best case scenario because Sabonis was in foul trouble and fouled out. So based on this, I would think Valanciunas is probably going to top out at about 15 minutes, 12 to 15 most nights, excluding blowouts, excluding like foul trouble. Over to Portland. Tamani Kamara, this is what he's done all season. He shot the ball. He hasn't shot the ball poorly all season, but when he does shoot the ball poorly, he has stuff to fall back on. 14 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block, must roster player. Jeremy Grant just continues to be very mediocre. 12 points. The 3 blocks are nice, but we rarely get that from him anymore. He's a little bit like, he's a bit Aaron Gordon-y. You sort of have him in your roster just because he's starting and playing minutes, but when you actually look through his game log and go, he's not actually bringing that much to the table. Would I be better streaming his position? I think that's a fair discussion to have. Avdia, poor night for him. They went with Shaden Sharp, who had the hot hand. He had 24 points. Scoot Henderson, 5 and 8 with 2 steals. Just didn't get a lot of rhythm in this one. Obviously, with the Blazers winning, this is going to continue to be a bit of an issue. Is Scoot's playing time? It is up and down. I still do think he's a must-roster player. Ayton had 18, 8 and 4 with 2 blocks, continues his mid-season resurgence. As soon as the Blazers start losing, I will almost guarantee that his production will fall. But they keep winning for now. And Donovan Clingan had 2 points with 7 rebounds and a block. Played over Robert Williams. Deeper leagues, sure. Standard leagues, the time will come. I just can't tell you when it is. All right, Golden State at Los Angeles. The Lakers get the win. 120 to 112. They were out big early. Warriors did pull it back. Curry was good. Pajemski, we talked about him as being must roster. I still think he is. He played 34 minutes, 8, 8, and 7. Just didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but the minutes are very encouraging. Quinton Post, Kevon Looney, God, they just don't have a center, do they? I don't know what they're going to do. They're sort of preaching that they're in this, they want to win it. They've got Jimmy Butler coming in, but Jimmy Butler's not that good. He's not going to make that much of a difference, I don't think. Draymond Green had 12, 5 and 4 with 2 steals and a block. That's a 12-team line. It's probably also the best you're going to get from him. Buddy Hield had 4 threes. I'd rather Pajemski. He's going to do a little bit more across the board, I think. I've said it, Moses Moody is actually the one I'd like to see playing more minutes here. He had 14 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal in 32 minutes. If they were all getting 30, I'd go with Moody over Pajemski over Hield. Moody's just not guaranteed of 32 minutes a night. So at the moment, I'm not making any moves. For the Lakers, look, good night for them. Jackson Hayes had 11 points, 3 rebounds, a steal and a block. Mark Williams will probably play next game. Whether they just throw him straight in, start him, play him 30 minutes, I don't know. So you could hold on to Hayes for one more game, but he is going to be a drop, as is Rui Hachimura. Austin Reeves had 23 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, 1 block. Couldn't shoot to save himself, 4 of 17 from the field, but he went 15 of 16 from the line. So weird night for him. He will take a hit when Luka comes in, but still going to be a very clear mid-rounder, I think. And Gabe Vincent, out of nowhere, had 15 points in his 30 minutes. We don't need to do anything with that. Vanderbilt, 21 minutes is better. He had a steal and a block with 14 rebounds. He can be a rebounds and defensive streamer, but do remember that they have Mark Williams to come in and they have Luka Doncic to come in. All right, and the last game has finished. So let me just see if this works. Here we go. Yeah, that was pretty seamless, wasn't it? It was the Clippers and the Pacers are victorious, 119 to 112. Pascal Siakam, very good. He had 20 at halftime, 22, something like that. So a lot of his damage there. Mathurin got hot in the second half, 25 points. Miles Turner left after 6 minutes due to concussion. This could obviously, if he fails the tests, he could miss a couple of games here, which would mean Thomas Bryant is the player we want to go and add. Halliburton, he started very slow in this one. Didn't end up with too bad a line, 14 and 8, 4 steals and a block. Andrew Nembhard, this is my concern with him. I know he's been playing really well. I tend to talk him down, and this is why. 4 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. Probably still a hold. I think the good has outweighed the bad recently, so I would give him another chance. For the Clippers, James Harden, Norm Powell both scored 22 points. Kawhi Leonard, look, production-wise, not his best, 19, 4 and 4. But he played 33 minutes. Very, very encouraging. Derek Jones had 12 points, 4 rebounds with a steal, doing just enough. He's a little bit Tumani Kamara at the moment. So he's doing just enough, I think, to be held. And then, look, Amir Coffey had 14 points. We're not interested in him at all, especially with Bogdanovic coming in. All right, let's do the questions very quickly, and then I will get to my chores around the house. All right, Joseph Kim, would I rather have Kamara or Asar Thompson? And if you have 16 roster spots, would having 3 players from the same team be too much? I think that's okay with 3. I usually like 2 or 3, and if you've got, slightly deeper rosters, I think that's okay. Would I rather Tamani Kamara or Asar? Probably Kamara, I think, just because he's playing significant minutes. Asar tends to go up and down between about 22 and 27, whereas Kamara is going to play 33 nightly, at the moment anyway. Do I think Draymond will be worse or better than he was before with Butler in the lineup? The same. Not better. I don't know if he'll be worse, but I don't think he'll get better. Looks like we were wrong about Portland. At the moment, we are. I'm still not convinced, but yes, at the moment, it does look like they're playing really well. They didn't make a trade. Does the Ayton for Monk trade look bad? No, I'd still rather have Monk there. Aditya dropped Nick Richards to pick up Nick Smith, and now I'm contemplating, should I drop Goga to activate Nurkic? I wouldn't, only because Charlotte have come out and said that Musa Diabate is going to start. So, I don't think I would be running to add Nurkic. Take a flyer on him. I picked him up in one league. Just because Diabate is starting doesn't mean he's going to play 32 minutes and Nurkic plays 16. It could be a split. So I'm not against adding Nurkic. I just don't think I would add him over Goga. I'm still stupidly potentially high on Goga, so we'll see. Kawhi played 32 minutes. Do we think he continues to play big? I think so. I think barring any setbacks, they will ramp him up. Back-to-backs, I'm not sure, but the minutes, I think the minutes are up there. Does Jimmy help Steph's efficiency? I think it probably does. A little bit. Not to the point where Steph is going to be the player he was, but I think it does help him. Goga is very frustrating, Shining Knight, yes. Buzelis is looking very enticing. I get that. All right, 14-team league, category league. Would I drop Nick Smith Jr. for pods? With Melo coming back, new additions, I can't see him do it. I'd be okay with that. Yep, I think that's fine. Is Scoot a drop? I don't think so, but I would understand if you want to. His playing time is a little bit inconsistent at the moment. Would I add Buzelis over Keegan Murray? Oh, here we go. Like dropping Keegan Murray question. I like that. I would. Who's that messaging me? I'd be okay with that, I think. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Should I look to sell Hartenstein? Yeah, look, checked back to try to trade him for Ayton. Do I think Josh Hart? I don't know. I haven't looked at Josh's projections. He's still near top 50. In your league, I'm not sure. In category leagues, probably, I'm probably a little higher than Josh on Hartenstein. You could trade him for Ayton, sure. Ayton's playing very well at the moment. Dalton Connect rest of season outlook. It's a good question. His ceiling's pretty limited because he doesn't do much. He's probably points. He could if he gets a full crack at things, he could average close to 20 points a game, which probably puts him inside the top 100. That's probably best case, I think. Ernest looking for a rest of season ad weighing up between Matkovic and Keon Johnson. Ooh. Yeah, that's an interesting one, actually. Yeah, I think I'll go Matkovic. I just don't trust the Nets. So, yeah, I think both are probably in the same range, but I would go Matkovic. I think as I said, I just don't trust Brooklyn at all. Dalton over Scoot. Picked up Collier. Dalton has a great playoff schedule. Dalton over Scoot. If you need points, yes. I still think Scoot has more upside in terms of assists, steals. The points will, as we've seen, are up and down. Minutes are up and down. If you're looking for more for points and threes and a guy that's going to play 30-plus minutes, then I'd be okay with that. Should I try Beal and Vassell for Paolo in a punt 3? You could try it. Yeah, you could try that. Amen Thompson or J-Dub in Dynasty Points League. Ooh. That's pretty close, I think. Maybe Amen. I don't know. It's very fair. Yeah, if I was more of a dynasty expert, I'll probably give you more of an opinion there. Maybe it's Amen. My hesitation on Amen Thompson is when does he get a 35-minute a night role? I know he has it at the moment, but when they're healthy, does he? J-Dub already has it. But if we're looking dynasty, 3 years, 5 years, then yes, I think Amen Thompson absolutely has the same role as Jalen Williams. Am I worried about a Trey Murphy shutdown? Oh, look, I think we're a little bit worried, but not to the point where I'm trying to move him at this stage. Yes, we could say that, Alex, that Ayton will rehabilitate his trade value by playing winning basketball. Yeah, absolutely, that could happen. Would I drop Nick Richards for Alvarado or Matkovic? For Matkovic, I probably would. Get to add 2 to your roster in a points league. Keontae George, Collier, Kamara, Yabusele, Buzelas, Vassell, Jovic, Keon. Man. Who are the 2 I would add there in a points league? Probably Keontae would be one. Not Yabusele. Oh, the rest are all in a bunch. Probably not Collier, not in a points league. Is it Vassell? Oh, is that me being silly? Probably Keontae and maybe Vassell. It's pretty close for that second spot, I think. How would I order these back-end guards in a 9-cat league? Alvarado, Nick Smith, Lonzo, D'Lo, Ellis. If we're looking at rest of season value across the board kind of stuff, or who has the highest rank, I mean, that's always a way of ranking players. Actually, well, no, I don't want to look at rank because Keon Ellis's rank will be higher than I think he's actually worth because of the steals. So I would probably go Lonzo, D'Lo. Yeah. I'd have Lonzo first, I think. Alvarado, Nick Smith. I'd have Ellis last because I think he's one category and one category only. And then in the middle, it depends what the Hornets are going to do with Nick Smith. If he's going to start, if they're going to run Connect, Smith, and Ball, then I'd probably go Smith. Alvarado's, I mean, he had one good game. Since then, he's done nothing. So I'm very skeptical on Alvarado. And D'Angelo Russell, again, that's the whole Nets thing. So I go Lonzo first, Ellis last. And then, look, if you have some faith in the Nets, I'd probably go D'Angelo Russell because he's proven. But, yeah, he's looked just – he's not washed, but he's looked washed, just like he doesn't care. So, yeah, I think that's probably it. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Things to do. I will be back tonight, actually. We're doing a crossover with myself, Matty G, and DMAC, NBA Fantasy Bible. So we'll be doing a show at 9 p.m. Eastern in Australia, middle of the night in the US. But we'll get some people watching along. And I think we're just going to do our thoughts on the trade deadline, which I'm pretty well versed in now. There'll be my 5th show for today. So that'll be good. I will be back with a pre-game show in the morning. I actually haven't asked Michael Waterloo to do a trade talk show. I just forgot. It's probably too late now. So there may or may not be a trade talk show tomorrow. But if not, there will definitely be a pre-game show. But that will do. Please go and download and like and subscribe and thumb up and all of that stuff. I'm Adam King. This has been the Balls Deep post-game show. Until next time, catch ya.
You just listened to another episode from the Fantasy Basketball International Podcast Network. Thanks for joining us. And for more information about joining our community, please check out our website,